Nicholas knows that two students of his were thrown around, and yet he's still not convinced. He paid a visit to an experienced Aikido practitioner to find out for himself.
Apparently, inside that building is the place where the teacher who was chucking around with my students is teaching. And I am going to go and find out if he can do the same thing to me. Let's go check it out.
Have you seen these guys in action? That's unreal.
Oh, I see the sensei over there. I'm just gonna go and pay my respect.
If this man looks familiar, you're right. He's the one that Penta's students couldn't beat. His name is Ryuichi Omori. He teaches Aikido at a university and is an instructor of Shodokan.
Sensei, I've seen the footage of you throwing my students around, and I'm kind of a little bit nervous about what's going to happen today. I've never tried Aikido before, and I'm very excited about everything. Maybe you could show me a few things about it today.
Hold my right hand with your right hand tightly, and don't let go. How does Aikido make you feel?
That hurt.
Let me explain it. You can create a multiplicity of force by concentrating that force into one focal point. I asked you to hold my right hand with your right hand. Now try to hold as tightly as you can. You can't? Putting my opponent off balance, I can use the concentrated power to my advantage. Let's test it again.
That is not even funny.
Let's see what happens when you grab my hand.
I have no feeling in my wrist right now.
Creative use of force is Aikido's claim to fame. The techniques concentrate on manipulating the energy.
Let me demonstrate one method of concentrating force. Push me back straight. I'll only resist with one finger. May I show you another one? Push me one more time, and I'll stand on one leg. Well, concentrating power into one point makes this possible. Now I'm going to push. Ready? You moved. That's because the power is dispersed. Concentrate your power on one focal point. Your techniques will have more impact if you can focus your energy properly.
Aikido experts know how to manipulate the force given off by an attacker. Sometimes they redirect it. Other times, they just blend in. Either way, they instantly gain control over the opponent's movement.
If you pull too strong, it'll separate. Do it gently, like a wave.
Omori Sensei, thank you very much for today. It was a wonderful experience to try Aikido for the first time in my life. And I'll tell you what, I was really impressed. The first technique, when you got me on, I was like, I never saw that one coming. So it was just really interesting. Today, I felt that everyone is really calm and relaxed and kind of anticipating of the opponent's attacking. Why is that?
One Aikido technique involves breaking the opponent's balance and putting yourself in a position to throw. The flow is to make the attacker collapse. Then you can get into position and finish the job. Aikido techniques are mostly and mainly for self-defense only. Therefore, making the initial attack is considered morally wrong. The most important point is this: Aikido is not a martial art that aims to fight.
The martial arts I have done until now has always been based on brute force. But Aikido is totally different. By using the opponent's strength, a mysterious force is created.
Aikido may appear mysterious, but it's backed by physiology and science. Nobuyuki Ito of Yokohama National University is the national coach for the Japan Association of Athletics Federation. His specialty is training theory and biomechanics in movement. We asked him to analyze Nicholas's newly acquired throwing technique.
At first glance, the movements seem similar, but closer inspection reveals that the instructor adjusted his center of gravity as he executed the technique.
Here's the comparative data of the two men in motion. First, the expert.
He slides his center of balance backwards and slightly downwards at the very moment his arm is grabbed. That causes the opponent to lean forward and lose equilibrium. Then an upward lift, distributing the alignment of the opponent's upper and lower body, completes the throw. As for Nicholas, his center of balance hardly moves. He just stands there, and from that fixed position, tries to propel himself forward to basically muscle the opponent around.
At first, I thought people were simply tossed dramatically around, but now I start to understand the dynamics of the technique and realize it all happens in a flash.
Hello. Hello. My name is Nicholas Pettis. Nice to meet you.
Another man who has some insight into why this all works is Hideo Takaoka. He's been involved with many different kinds of martial arts and is known as someone who can explain their mechanism.
So, with my experience with Aikido this time, I understand that there was a lot of power going on there, and I thought it was, through all the experience I've had with martial arts until now, that it was about power. But maybe you could explain to me a little bit more exactly where the strength of Aikido is.
Sure. Let me show you two aspects of Aikido's secrets. Massive energy is required in the midst of combat. You might have the urge to overcome an opponent or pin him down. That's emotional energy. The other type is physical, like the force your body generates in speed and momentum. Aikido turns this energy to its advantage. When you take it in your hand and blend the emotional and physical aspects, well, then you've got it. First, let's see Omori's technique. The opponent tries to grab. He leads this movement well. It's really fast. That's why the opponent looks as if he's dashing. With such an enormous amount of energy, just a lift of an arm makes the opponent flip.
Wow.
Speed is the key. Instead of cringing from the opponent's aggression, he takes advantage of it rapidly.